But before we begin, could I please get your promised answers? And I asked you many questions over many meetings, and each time you said you would answer, but I don't know what the answers are. You said you would check with our attorney as to why he's not performing with regard to protecting the citizens of Edgewater, 10,000 with regard to our rights. You heard me in many meetings bring discrepancies to the attention of our borough administrator, and you heard him promise many times. He's looking into it, he's had it, and that he finally took it away from our no longer tax assessor, and he said he would do it himself. I don't know, I haven't got any report from him. So I respectfully say that he lied to me, repeatedly, in your presence and what have you. He's offended at that. He said, if I ever say that again, he'll disbar me from these meetings at Borough Hall. I don't appreciate that. And I'd like to, before I begin, as I say, because I can get cut off so easily in 5 minutes, could you give me the answers to these questions which you said you would ask the attorney?
Stanley, you have 5 minutes to talk to the problem.
Pardon me?
It's your 5 minutes.
Yeah, could you tell me?
At the end, they'll address your question.
Yeah, well, that's marvelous. Thank you so much. I'd like to ask then, Mayor, have you distributed that letter that I gave you, that I have sent to the Commissioner of the NJDEP and to several other people? I gave it to you for distribution to the council.
I didn't distribute it. I will.
You did not?
No, I didn't.
Well, I have it here, and it's an important thing that affects 10,000 people. I'd like to read it. It's a page and a quarter, not that long.
Actually, the letter I have is this one.
Well, I have typed since.
Okay.
I've got a gratuitous typing of it to make it easier. And I would like to read, 10,000 of us here at the borough would like the answer. It may help you raise your answer as to why our attorney didn't do anything about it. You are a municipality, is that correct? Are you a municipality? I mean, are you a corporation, municipal corporation? Are you?
Yes.
The corporate here, is it a municipal?
Yes,
It is. So it's a corporation. So it's affected by the 14th Amendment. So with your permission, I would like to make these two complaints that I said that it's extraordinarily difficult for me to get information from. I was down to the tax department 3 times today, and last week some other times, still without the information that I need. I have got some misinformation from our borough compliance officer. Is he paid extra for that duty? Compliance officer by the Borough of Citizens of Edgewater?
No, he's not.
He's not, okay. Well, he's accepted the responsibility of compliance officer as well as borough administrator. And I think that he should take a look at the attitudes by people who want, perhaps under directions, act not to provide information that's pertinent. For instance, what 1445 River Road is all about. It was printed on a map, and I asked you about this before also. And I don't know, he told me today it's the colony, but it was printed on the tax map as non-taxable because it was on borough-owned property in the Hudson River. The truth of the matter is, if we can dare confront truth for a moment, it's not the colony at all, never was. It's opposite the colony on the west side of the street. The colony is entirely on the east side of River Road. It's on the west side, at the intersection of Annette Avenue and River Road. It's a house that has had 2 commercial trucks in front of it for I don't know how long, and huge brass signs for decades. 1445 River Road. It's printed on a whole lot of documents, including colony documents, and it has absolutely nothing to do, as far as I know, with the borough or the colony. I don't know whether it's a sleight of hand or an error or a convenient error or what it is, but I would like an answer. I failed to get that answer today from what I thought was a legitimate inquiry to our borough administrator. I would like it if you would speak to those people, that please, if I come down to ask for information, that I be facilitated rather than frustrated. I spent 2 hours in the waiting room today, 0 information. This letter now that affects 10,000 people in the borough, that not even your council knows about it. With your permission, I would like to read it.
You have a minute left, Mr. Henry.
You're not going to allow me to, well, I'll read the important part of that, of the letter. Isn't that all? It affects 10,000 people on something that should not be going forward, and here it is.
Mr. Henry, your time is up.
A minute didn't elapse in those 10 seconds.
The buzzer went off. I looked at it, there was one left.
You told me I had a minute, and then you told me my time is up, and I began to utilize that minute.
Time's up,
with
Mr.
the important thing.
Time's up.
Well, will you distribute this letter then, or will you continue to
You know,
fight it?
on my mistake, Wright distributed the letter that you've given me.
Pardon me?
They all have this.
Okay, this is a printed copy, and it makes it very easy to read.
It definitely would have, because I had a hard time getting through this.
Exactly.
Your time is
Well,
up.
this is a printed copy, and I would like it distributed to the entire council, who, some of whom may act in the interest of the 10,000 people in Edgewater who are shortchanged by your actions, Mayor.
I'll take it.
Okay. I'm surprised you don't allow the public to enter. This is not about a speech or anything. This is a very important matter.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Anyone else?
You
wish to
wouldn't
hear?
allow me to have you hear it.
Evening. Peter DePaul, 606 Undercliff Avenue, Edgewater. I'd like to talk about the water coming across the cliffs in several spots. One, primarily the Crescent Court construction that Fort Lee's doing, 10 beautiful homes, but there's drainage pipe that protrudes over the cliff, green 6-inch drain pipe, that's supposed to be removed, and I thank Mr. Franz for following up with it. But as of this weekend, there's still men working up there. There's supposed to be a stop order, and it seems the pipe now is covered with soil, and they've been pouring some rough concrete in the area. The perpendicular of the pipe is still visible, but they had plywood over it over the weekend. And the far end, as it extends over the cliff by about 4 feet, has a white cap on it at this point. So I'm not confident yet that Fort Lee's serious about removing it. But there's part of the problem with water coming over the cliffs. And the bigger problem we have. For years, the streets are just emptied out to the east over the cliff. Euclid Avenue and Arcadian Way are two examples. Arcadian Way is a hole in the bluestone wall at the top of the cliff, and the water just continues to go out and over it. So even putting up this new netting and black face to cover the stone from eroding, there's still this problem that Fort Lee hasn't approached and the state about water from developed areas being just jettisoned over. So I'd like to ask the council to consider and approach Fort Lee and the state. There has to be a project to really deal with water. At Crescent Court, the new 10 buildings that are being built up, according to the plans and the meetings that they had, there's a 4-foot drain line on the eastern part of the properties. That's what's supposed to be used to tap into and drain off as much as a home can, not these pipes that stick out over the cliff. So I thank you again, but I ask you to continue with them. I called twice today, got hung up once, and then the second time.
I apologize, I didn't get back to you, I was waiting for the.
No, I'm sure you're busy. I called Fort Lee twice today, was hung up on once. The second time, they had to call between 7 and 9, the plumbing inspector, Mr. Hammer, and they can give you an answer. But once it's buried, it's a problem. And new owners up there shouldn't have to have to go digging out after the land's been landscaped and they moved in. Now's the time to solve the problem. But thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
When will you be answering my questions, Mayor?
Valerie?
Valerie Martinez, 16 Hudson's Terrace. First, let me congratulate Mayor and council members who won the election last week. It was a real nail biter. It's come to my attention, somebody called me to let me know that the council, or one council person in particular, has been meeting with a local developer who has agreed to provide money for the location of Veterans Field? Is that true? No, or maybe?
Valerie, you got 5 minutes.
So you're not going to even answer that? Well, it's come to my attention that what I just said, and if that's true, I'd like to know what the governing body would be giving this developer in return. Are we going to possibly name Veterans Field after him? Are we giving him property? Are we giving him approvals? So that's a question. You know, I always come up here with a thought about what I want to talk about, and then I look at your blank faces, and I get so aggravated and very, very hurt that as a resident of Edgewater, when I come up here and I try to discuss something with you, a dialogue, you take that and you assume that that I'm a naysayer or against everything. And in fact, I thought a lot about what you asked me when I ran into you in Fairway, if there was anything I liked about Edgewater. And I thought, and I told you I'd like to talk to you when you're going to somewhere open, that the fact that you made that statement showed there wasn't.